Now to that frantic 911 call from the home of actress Demi Moore earlier this week. It took about 2 minutes from the time the call was made before the dispatcher sent an ambulance. As national correspondent Cowan explains, the 911 call reveals the confusion that was going on inside Demi Moore's house.
We need an ambulance here as soon as possible, please.
The call for help went out late Monday night after a gathering at Demi Moore's Beverly Hills home.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened there.
Okay, she smoked something. It's not marijuana, but it's similar to incense.
Several callers are on the line.
Okay, right now, is she awake?
Yes, well, semi-conscious, barely.
Okay, is she breathing?
Is she breathing? Yes.
Okay, and she overdosed on...
She's convulsing.
Another woman grabs the phone.
Is she breathing normally?
No, not so normal, but more sort of shaking, convulsing to me, but burning up.
Is she able to respond to you?
To me, can you hear me?
Yes, she's squeezing.
Yeah, she's squeezing hands. There's no, she can't speak.
The scene sounds a lot more dire than her publicist had let on. After Demi had been rushed to the hospital Monday night, a statement read that she would be seeking professional help for exhaustion and overall health.
The 911 tape really indicates that this is a much more serious situation than we were first led to believe. We've been told it's exhaustion that she's suffering from, but you can tell from this tape that there's a very desperate situation here. She's having convulsions and she's almost losing consciousness. It's a very scary tape to listen to.
Some blame her recent split with husband Ashton Kutcher after allegations he cheated. Others say the marriage was in trouble before that. Whatever it was that sent her into a downward spiral this week was a mystery to those at her side that night.
Has she done this before?
I don't know. There's been some stuff recently that we're all just finding out.
A private torment that has suddenly become very public. For CBS This Morning, I'm Cowan in Hollywood.
For more, we turn to Dr. Howard Samuels, a psychotherapist and a leading expert on alcohol and drug addiction. He's in Los Angeles. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
First of all, from listening to the 911 tape, how much trouble was Demi Moore in?
No, she was definitely in trouble. I mean, this was a real emergency. You could hear the panic in the voices on the telephone. Obviously, you know, this was a 911 call that was very serious, and especially when the paramedics came, they took her to the hospital. Because many times the paramedics will come, and if it's not that serious, they'll leave. But they took her to the hospital, which shows you the seriousness of this.
So what do we think these substances they were describing are?
Well, basically, it sounds like a drug called spice. Now, spice is very much like marijuana. It used to be legal, but now it is illegal, but head shops sell it all across the country. And there's a loophole where they sell it as incense. So, you know, you smoke it, and this is a drug that creates heart palpitations, panic attacks, you have foggy memory. It can really cause some complications physically. Now, in this situation, though, you have a 49-year-old woman who is smoking it. This is a drug that a lot of teenagers smoke. Now, but along with the drug, there have been reports that she has been losing a lot of weight, that she could possibly have been on Adderall, that she was drinking a lot of Red Bull. So if you put that whole thing in a package, you know, with her like having a seizure, makes all the sense in the world.
So what does it say about her state of mind that she may have allegedly been using this combination of substances, and how addictive is it? If you want to try and clean up your life, how difficult is it to get back to where you were?
Well, you know, spice is addictive, but I think the issue here is extremely risky self-destructive behavior, and that is usually caused by somebody who is going through a really difficult emotional time. And if you take a look at Demi Moore, I mean, she just had a public humiliation with her husband publicly cheating on her with the woman, the name and the picture of the woman in the newspapers. So, I mean, what a horrific thing for a woman to have to go through. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it really makes sense that she would sort of hit a bottom like this emotionally. And the good news, I gotta say there's good news, is that she's in a treatment center. Now, if she stays in the treatment center and she really works out her grief and loss issues over the marriage, there's a lot of hope here for her.
But we've seen these rehab relapses over and over again, particularly with celebs. What are the numbers there, and what's our outlook?
Well, you know, you have to understand something is that, you know, rehabs, it's very common for everybody that goes to rehab to relapse. Unfortunately, that is a part of the recovery process. The only problem with that, you may not make it through the relapse alive. And so it's not just celebrities, it's normal people that go to rehabs. I mean, you know, addiction is a very difficult thing to overcome. I mean, myself, I'm 27 years clean and sober. I spent 3 years of my life locked up in treatment centers before I finally had a psychic shift and turned my life around.
Well, hopefully she's got a great support network around her. Dr. Howard Samuels in Los Angeles this morning, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Absolutely.